The plot is thickening tonight on Capitol Hill, where Capitol police officials are now looking at emails sent to Congressman Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio. Remember, he's a former coach of the Ohio State wrestling team. Tonight, another former wrestler from that team is reportedly claiming that Jordan is not being truthful when he says he did not know the team doctor was sexually abusing athletes. Here is what Jordan is saying about it all.
All I can do is tell the truth, and you know, we've said that we're happy to sit down with the firm doing the investigation. As I said, though, I find it interesting that they can't find a congressman's email address. They can't tell us who they talked to when they supposedly called our office, but yet they can go tell the press that they reached out to us and we didn't respond. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Okay, so he's talking about the emails there. Senior Capitol producer Chad Pergram is here to break it down. But first of all, I mean, obviously these kind of accusations are very serious. And I wonder, though, on the substance of it, what is Jim Jordan saying? Because you now have a fourth wrestler, Sean Daly, saying he was groped by the team doctor, and that basically they talked to Jim Jordan about it and he didn't do anything.
Yeah, and Jim Jordan and his office have been denying this all the way through. What we do have here are these emails now from Mike DeSabato, who, you know, wrestled under Jim Jordan back at Ohio State. And there's a couple of things. I talked to Mike DeSabato tonight, and he said the reason he started to send these emails, and if you read through the emails, Ed, they're peppered with emojis. The prose is very hard to understand. But he said, I want to reach out to someone like Jim Jordan, who's in a high-profile position.
Now, in the present time.
Right. And he started to do this in March, followed up in May and June and so on and so forth, and saying he's in a high-profile position. He needs to lead. In one email, he called him Reverend James. He says he has this squeaky clean image. He wants to be the Speaker of the House, and if he's not, he needs to cut through, his words, the Ohio State BS.
So they're saying, speak out now. But what evidence, if any, is there that Jim Jordan knew or didn't know years ago in the 90s that this sexual abuse was going on? Is there any evidence?
There isn't, and that's the problem. You know, how do you go back 25 or 30 years and say, I don't know that I knew something 25 or 30 years ago, and let alone how do I prove this? And this is this sort of Damocles that hangs over Jim Jordan, who has made, you know, very clear that he wants to run for leadership next year.
Could be the next Speaker of the House.
That's right.
Something.
That's right. And certainly if Kevin McCarthy and Steve Scalise, there could be recriminations there. If they lose the majority, you don't know how the leadership.
So he's denied wrongdoing. We don't know of any evidence that proves that he knew about this sexual abuse, but also, you know, innocent until proven guilty, but we don't know if other evidence will emerge. Is there any hint in the emails, I know it's early in the investigation, that this person out there was trying to blackmail Jim Jordan or suggesting you have some problem here, we're going to expose it? What was the nature of it?
He was basically taking advantage of what Jim Jordan's position was, saying you were someone at Ohio State at the time that this was going on. And if you look at who was copied on some of these emails, they were sent to Jim Jordan. One of the emails I looked at was sent to Russ Hellickson, who was the wrestling coach there, the head coach, sent to Archie Griffin, the two-time Heisman Trophy winner, Oliver Luck, the father of Andrew Luck, who's an NCAA
so
official.
They were going to prominent people.
Yes.
Like, this is a big deal. Bottom line, there are a lot of people around Jim Jordan who believe, you know, he's been going after the FBI. He's going after the Justice Department. He's demanding answers in the Trump and Clinton investigations. Hinting, again, we don't have evidence of this either, but that maybe someone somewhere is trying to get back at him.
And Jordan has used that narrative. But, you know, when you look for some, you know, smoking gun that directly connects those things, there's nothing. What you could be having here is that Jim Jordan's star is ascending because he wants to move up in the leadership. He's someone who's been very vocal on the issue of the FBI and Rod Rosenstein and what they knew at DOJ. And so when that happens, you know, you get a bigger target on your back. And if you have this sort of Damocles hanging over you that nobody can prove or disprove, well, that could undercut you in a potential leadership race.
Right. But again, no evidence that he did anything wrong, but it's something you expect. We've got 15 seconds. He's going to have a news conference. He's going to have to explain any of this, or what's the next move for the Jordan
This will heat up big time when they come back to session next week. Congress is out until Tuesday. The House comes back next Tuesday, and that's when this will really get big, because then we'll know.
Chad Pergram, thanks for the facts tonight.